Sorry about the delay, 5 minutes late, apologize, completely my fault, but here we are again. Another Friday, another market review, another portfolio review, summarizing what's going on, what's happening, which stocks are going up, which stocks going down, which especially cryptos are going up and down, because this week has been incredible for some of the cryptocurrencies. And not just this week, but this whole past month, including some of the cryptocurrencies going up as much as 221% in comparison to the previous month. This is the growth that S&P 500 can experience probably, just probably in 20 years on average, maybe more, maybe less, but just in 1 month we experienced the growth in Solana cryptocurrency, which I am still holding, but this is not too much big portion of my portfolio. It experienced 221% growth. I'm not endorsing this cryptocurrency, not saying you should buy it, not saying you should sell it. Do your very own research before devoting yourself to any types of investments in any asset classes, be it assets, equities, which are stock or shares or stocks, bond, debt securities, which are bonds, for example, government bonds, company bonds, cryptocurrencies, real estate, anything you want to invest. It is your very own money, so you should be the one and only responsible for making these decisions. Videos like this, other people on the internet shouting buy this, buy that, should only be a source of inspiration for you to start your very own research. Okay, we got this introduction out of the way, and now let's say I will tell you what this stream will be, approximately 30 minutes as always, hopefully maybe no more than this, will be about. So today I would like to talk about crypto boom that happened this week. Most likely it will not be sustainable. This was one of the questions I was receiving. Is it gonna continue going like crazy every single month, every single week, 200%? Of course it's not sustainable. So right now, most likely somewhere around next week or something, people will be starting to taking their profits. Most likely cryptos will correct themselves, and those which went high the most will most likely drop the most. So Solana, which went more than 200%, will most likely correct itself by 10, 15, 20%, maybe even. All the other cryptocurrencies, Cardano went also up by 100% approximately, if I'm not mistaken, comparing to the previous month. And two major cryptos, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they also went up a little, about 20 maybe percent or so, but still, almost every single cryptocurrency that deserves your attention, that is serious, including, unfortunately for me, fortunately for some of you, Dogecoin, everything went up. Unlike the stock market. Stock market was pretty volatile. It was going down 1-2% in one day, and then the very next day people were just buying the dip, which basically means that everything was in net, into like zero. So as a result, VOO, the S&P 500 index, is approximately negative 0.5%, but we'll go to more precise numbers in a while. As for me, my very personal portfolio is approximately in 0% for the week. I think it's up 0.4 or 0.5%, which is obviously not that bad. Every growth is good. At least it's not down as comparing to the S&P 500. In comparison to the previous month, it's also a little bit up, like about 2% or something. So far, the stock market and crypto market are doing good, despite all the fear and FUD and all this like fear, uncertainty, doubt, and all the Armageddon that's on the headlines, me including, are talking about the stock market is crashing. Everything is still just being something in my eye, excuse me for a second. Everything is just still growing like mushrooms after the rain, if it makes sense. Okay, so first of all, just to get it out of the way, as always, I would like to show you my weekly portfolio performance, because this was also the original idea for these Friday streams, just to see which companies I'm having, which companies are growing, declining, what's the overall performance for the week. Then I would like to talk about cryptocurrencies boom, if you want to call it this way, and what possibly caused this explosion, and if it is sustainable. But I already told most likely it's not, but I would like to evolve, I would like to develop this idea a little bit more in details in future. Okay, so to begin with, give me just 1 second to log into my Wealthsimple account so I can show you my personal portfolio. I would need to put some two-factor authentication right now, because you never know when your account is gonna get stolen. And I'm already submitting. Right now I will be starting to share my screen so you can see my investment portfolio. Okay, so this is, as you already know, one of my two major portfolios. Next month, as you already remember, I'm opening my third one, which will be just personal portfolio, where I will be holding non-dividend paying companies. Okay, and also every single night I'm looking for new companies to add into my portfolio, and as soon as I select them, obviously this next time I'm buying, which is going to be the end of the first week of September, I'm gonna do another stream, as I always do on Friday, and in this stream I will tell you which companies I bought, why I bought them, what's the perspectives, what the future I see for these companies. We can go over their financials, and basically I will justify what I bought. And once again, this is not a recommendation for you to copy whatever I'm buying or selling, but this can be just to give you an idea for your own personal research. Okay. So if you go to the TFSA, so like I mentioned, yes, for the last month so far, it is up 2%. For the last week, it is approximately minus 1%, but because it rounds up, as far as I remember from my phone, where it gives more precise numbers, it is approximately minus 0.5%. And for the day, it is up 1%, which is once again approximately 1.2% up. So my companies, as always, Apple. For the past week, Apple is down 0.5%, not a big deal. AbbVie is supposed to be up 2.59%, very good gain. Which company is this? This is AMCR, is up 6%. And remember, this is the company that just produces packaging. This company pays 4% dividend yield, very boring business model, and it is growing 6% per week. In comparison to the last month, it is 12.5% in comparison to the last month. Talk about investing in Teslas or anything like this. We can even see what's the performance of Tesla. Obviously, Tesla is gonna beat in the long-term perspective this packaging material company. And in comparison to Tesla, this is down 6%. In comparison to the last month, it's up 3%. So this company that no one ever heard about, Amcor, producing packaging materials, recyclable obviously, it beated, whatever is the past tense of this verb, it beated Tesla. Okay, the next one is ARK, the company I'm seriously considering revising if I should continue investing in or not. And this is also another topic for another stream. This company is down 5%. And this is unfortunately one of the biggest holdings I have in my portfolio. So this took a very big hit. Okay, next one is Bank of Montreal, down almost 1%. The next one is Caterpillar, as you already know, one of my favorite companies, down 6.79%, didn't expect that. Next company is Carnival Cruise Line, down 0.5%. Next company is Corsair, definitely it's down, it's always going down, but this is one of the companies I am buying next month. This is perfect for me, seeing this company being down every single week. So far, this company lost 14% last month, which means that I'm 100% buying this company next month, and it is already trading with 14% discount. This is what I like to see about the companies I'm definitely buying. The next one is Intel, and it is down 2.7%. The next company is Lockheed Martin, must be up because of all the events of Afghanistan, unfortunately is down 0.8%. The next one is Southwest Airlines. I think it is just down as always 7%. The next one is 3M Company, must be approximately around 0. I would say it's down 3.5%. Why would I get so many downs? But okay, whatever. The next one is Nordic Atlantic, down 3%. It's just $200 position. The next one is Nucor. It is down because people start taking profits, down 6%. Next one is Renewable Energy, another company I'm thinking about getting rid, and it's not because the price is going down. It is because I started to explore this business a little bit more, and I see that this might not be as good as I thought when I invested in this company. So unfortunately, I might take a loss on this one, but we'll see. And the final one is Store Capital, and it is down 1.4%. Okay, this is portfolio performance. Not great, not terrible, very close to terrible, but that's not what we are here all about. Let me put myself again. Okay, so this was portfolio performance. Now let's talk about crypto. Specifically all this, there's something in my right eye and I cannot get rid of this, and this is so annoying. Okay, so yes. Okay, so I cannot. I'm so sorry about this. Hopefully it goes away soon. Okay, crypto is exploding. As you might know, as if you've seen my Instagram stories or Instagram post, Solana, one of the cryptocurrencies that I hold, is up 221% in comparison to the last month. This is the growth that is outstanding and definitely is not sustainable. Other cryptocurrencies I'm holding are Cardano, also up. I can even just pull these numbers up to give you exact numbers. So 6 cryptocurrencies I'm holding, 5 of them are serious, 1 of them is a joke. So far we start with Solana. Solana is up already 234%. I can show it, I have no idea if you'll be able to see it or not. Most likely no, because my camera doesn't have autofocus. So just trust me on this one. Solana up 234%. ADA, yes, I'm just looking right now at my screen and definitely you cannot see anything. So Cardano is up even more than I expect. Cardano is up 136% compared to the last month. Bitcoin is up 63%, and I thought it was only 20-30%. Bitcoin is up 63% in comparison to the last month, and the one which is a joke, even Ontology, even my joke investment is up 88%. Cryptocurrencies are definitely exploding this month, even if joke companies joke cryptos like Ontology is exploding. Of course, everything goes up. This is just a no-brainer that anyone who's invested in crypto, 99 out of 100 people in the last month of holding crypto, they have their cryptocurrencies appreciated in value. 99% of people. Okay, so the next ones are Bitcoin, I already told you. Ethereum. Ethereum unfortunately doesn't show me monthly, but I can probably do it manually. Just give me a second. Okay, Ethereum. Yes, Pete Griswold, Cardano right now is the 3rd biggest cryptocurrency in the world, right after Ethereum, which is incredibly amazing. I only wish I knew about this project earlier. So I came to know about Cardano. Approximately, I would say 6 months ago, approximately. So it was definitely still winter. And this is the first moment when I started thinking about altcoins, when I started thinking beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. I started exploring more, and the reason why I selected Cardano to begin with, it is because it was a heavily developed project. Ethereum is also a very well developed project, unlike Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for me, it's not that developed. It's pretty much prehistoric in comparison to what some other crypto projects can do right now. But still, Bitcoin is a decent, in terms of crypto investments, is a decent crypto asset. Let's say so. I hold it personally. Still do your very own research before buying anything else. Don't just take my word on it. So I learned about Cardano around 6 months ago, and it took me approximately no more than a week or 2 to actually buy it, because I started reading about this. I saw that they have these eras where they implement like parallel blockchains to increase the number of transactions per second. I was reading about that they're gonna be implementing smart contracts, and last Friday, I think, the developer, the main guy of Cardano, said that they will be adopting smart contracts for Cardano in September, which basically is next month. So Cardano is doing smart contracts. This is probably was one of the catalysts why Cardano went up so much, and maybe why even the whole crypto world went up following Cardano. Maybe it was one of the first these examples where the crypto market started following anything else except Bitcoin, because usually Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up. It's still true, if Bitcoin goes down, most likely everything goes down as well. But I saw huge increase in Cardano's value, and then I saw all the other cryptocurrencies started going up as well. So maybe this is one of these few times when something else beside Bitcoin was the catalyst for the whole crypto market to start growing. And I'm so happy that I'm holding Cardano since then. I bought Cardano maybe when it was approximately in low $1, like $1.10, $1.20. So yes, of course, the appreciation is incredible, more than 100. I more than doubled my money, which I'm extremely obviously grateful for, but I still unfortunately think it's unsustainable in short period of time. Most likely it will correct within the next month or so. But in long-term perspective, because I see how very well developed this project is, I believe in this cryptocurrency even more than in Bitcoin. I believe in this cryptocurrency maybe the same level as I believe in Ethereum. Ethereum and Cardano for me are the most very well developed projects for now in crypto space. Okay, Pete Grizzle says gonna buy some when it comes back down, but it's not on Wealthsimple. Yes, unfortunately, Pete, Wealthsimple does not have Cardano yet, but here's another problem with Wealthsimple. If you want to buy crypto assets with Wealthsimple, such as for example Bitcoin, Ethereum, or maybe when they're gonna have Cardano in the future or Dogecoin, you get the idea. If you want to buy crypto coins, crypto assets with Wealthsimple, you're not buying actual crypto coins. You're not buying actual cryptocurrency. Yes, the price will go up and down the same, exactly the same, but you will not be able to go into the store and spend this money that you bought through Wealthsimple. Because whenever you're buying through Wealthsimple, you're buying a so-called derivative. And derivative, it's a financial instrument which derives its value from the asset. An asset in this case, for example, let's say Bitcoin. The easiest example, everyone knows about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is an underlying asset, and the ones that you're buying on Wealthsimple are Bitcoin derivatives. This is another financial instrument which derives its value from Bitcoin price. So let's say Bitcoin is $40,000, and on Wealthsimple you will buy derivative for also $40,000. Bitcoin actual price goes to 45, derivative will go to 45 as well. So technically you are buying just into the price fluctuations. You are just buying the price. Yes, you will enjoy this 100% growth, 200% growth. You will enjoy all this growth for sure, yes. But this is not actual cryptocurrency. So if the main purpose for you is just to buy cryptocurrency just to sell it later for a higher price, yes, absolutely go ahead, use Wealthsimple. It's commission free. It's perfect, it's easy, it's very simple. Fractional trading, you can buy just 0.005 of Bitcoin, perfect for these purposes. But if you need actual cryptocurrency that you would like to use in the future, you cannot do it with Wealthsimple. They claim, and this is in their terms and conditions for Wealthsimple crypto, you technically can contact them, call them or send them an email, and if you want to dispute with them, if you want to negotiate with them, they just might convert this derivative into actual crypto asset. So you bought derivative for Bitcoin, you can talk with them, and they can actually technically, if you negotiate properly with them, they can send you actual Bitcoins and then later to your wallet, let's say so. But for now you just buy derivatives, and for this reason I'm not buying cryptos from Wealthsimple, because I might use it in the very, very, very distant future. I'm just keeping it for now, not selling, not buying yet anything else, because right now the cryptos is taking approximately 8 to 10% of my portfolio, which is a lot, and it's due to most recent appreciation. For now, I just keep it like this, and most likely, let's see how it goes once again, I might use it in the future. At least not all of them. I might use just, let's say, only Bitcoin, for example. The rest I might just sell, yes, and convert it to cash. But for now, I just keep, and that's it. Okay. Shout out to Green Lane Renewables. Yes, Pete, and I remember you mentioned this company a couple of streams ago, and I did take a look at this company. So let me just put the stock of Green Lane Renewables, because I was not tracking it in the last couple of weeks. I was not tracking it, but I definitely researched this company. So you might already see that in 1 month, Green Lane Renewables went 5.76% up. Not bad, to be honest, for 1 month, very good appreciation. In the last 5 days, unfortunately, it lost 12.5%. This day, it was not as good for this. I did research this company, Pete, and thank you so much for suggesting it. It is a very interesting company. This company is producing renewable gas. Yes, let me just double check just in case, so I don't spend so much time talking about, yes, I already can see it, it's renewable natural gas. Okay, so I did research this company. The company is risky, definitely risky, because it is basically a penny stock, because the price of this is like 1.4 Canadian dollars, and penny stocks are anything that's less than $5 US, according to 2021 unspoken rules of traders. So the company is decent, the company is good. I am personally not planning, at least for now, investing in this company. I did like the financials. The money generating is pretty good for them. It's not the worst company. It's not the best, unfortunately, for my personal level of risk tolerance, but the company is pretty good. The industry is very interesting, natural renewable gas, which basically means that they are collecting all the waste from animals, from the wastewater, they recycle it. Obviously, I'm not an engineer or biochemist, so I will just say recycle. They recycle it, and what is the result of this? They produce the renewable gas, which can be later used as a source of energy, obviously. So why I unfortunately did not invest in this company? So I did not invest in this company because for now, and we don't know where this industry is going to be 10-20 years from now, but for now, renewable gas unfortunately is not as efficient as other sources of renewable energy, let's say so. It's not as efficient definitely as natural regular gas. And it is way more expensive because it takes so much money to acquire it, to recycle it, to store it, to transport it, to market it. So it is just so many costs that unfortunately for now, as of 2021, if anyone is watching this video way in the future, as of this 2021, renewable gas, for me personally, it does not look like an attractive industry for now. I keep saying for now, because anything can change in the future. So as a result, we get gas, source of energy, which is more expensive than other types of renewable energy and less efficient than other types of energy. So unfortunately, for now, once again, I will just keep it in my watch list. I will keep it on my watch list for sure, because very interesting industry, very interesting company, very small company, but I would not like to invest it, at least for now. Okay, so let's see what else Pete is saying. Pete is saying it's a long-term investment. Yes, long-term, just hold it. Perspectives of this company of this industry can be huge. We don't know which renewable source of energy is going to be major in the future. Right now, obviously, it's oil and coal, even though we don't like to acknowledge it, but it is. In the future, it might be solar, wind, ocean, whatever. Maybe it's going to be renewable gas. And right now, this is one of the pioneers. So you right now are taking huge risk, but in the future, this may play out and this is going to be 1000x company. Let's say so, theoretically. It can happen. I'm not saying it will, but it can. Okay. I knew my own F-ups early on. I bought Ethereum high, but bought more later at a lower price. So it brought my average down. Yes, Pete. This is a very good strategy to basically, like how it's called on the internet, to buy the dip. Whenever you buy something and you truly believe in this company, asset, crypto, real estate, or whatever, whenever you truly believe in your investment and then it goes down in value, it should be like I mentioned 10 minutes ago with Corsair Gaming. Right now it's 12% down for the month, but this is perfect for me because I so much like Corsair. My friend is using Corsair computer. I was using Corsair. If you type best RAM, best PCs on 2021, 2022, majority of the lists will have Corsair products on this list. I extremely believe in this company and I want to buy it more, and I obviously want to spend less money buying the same number of shares. So for me, seeing this company losing value now, when I know that next month I am buying it, it is so good. Same stuff with crypto assets. If you like Ethereum so much, if you believe in it, and if you bought it way in the past when it was more expensive, right now, or whatever was your average cost, every single time the price is lower, it is a very good opportunity to buy. But obviously you need to still do your very own research. I'm just a guy on the internet with 5 people watching, so I do not have the authority to claim such big words and statements yet. But this is what I also personally do. If I believe in something, price is down, I am most likely buying to decrease, like you said, Pete, to decrease, to reduce, to make the average cost basis lower. So let's say, so instead of having 100 shares at $100 each on average, next time I buy 100 shares for $80 each, and now I have 200 shares with $90 each share price. So from $100 now it went all the way down to $90. Okay, so Peter says, I get you, not arguing. I assume this was about renewable and about the green lane renewables. I get some Ethereum, and some more Matic. Matic, I have not heard about this crypto asset yet. I will put it down right now on my right here. so I don't forget. So I will put this coin, I'm assuming this is a cryptocurrency, right here in my browser. So thank you once again already for telling me about Green Lane Renewables. Now, next time I will research this Matic and see what are my thoughts about this cryptocurrency. Okay, so right now let's put me, and right now in less than 10 minutes I would assume, let's go over what happened this week on the market, stock news, correction, recession that probably is going very near, approaching very fast, and what probably caused the crypto to boom, to explode basically this week and the last month. Okay, so let me open the screenshots and I'll be just going through them just like I did last time. Where is my display? Okay, so here you go. Once again, if you've seen my last stream, which I extremely urge you to do, and yes, once again, Pete, thank you so much for giving me suggestions. The reason why I like these streams so much is because of people like you who are texting something in the chat, and this gives me and other people who are watching another investment ideas, because at least couple of ideas that I do have in my portfolio, not even mentioning cryptocurrencies, couple of stocks that I have, including Corsair, were from just randomly stumbling upon on something on the internet. I saw one person mentioning this, I did my own research, I saw how cool is this potentially cool investment, and I started investing in this. So who knows, we just 5 people right now, already 6, wow, 6 people. So 6 people just hanging around, watching just one guy rambling on YouTube about stock market with no authority to talk or anything like this. And who knows, maybe one of the days somebody will suggest something and then some of us invest in this and makes money or loses money. These are the things that happen for a reason. So thank you so much once again. Before I continue, I'm not finishing my stream. Thank you all so much once again for joining, for typing your comments, for making comments, for suggesting me ideas, either it's equities, securities, crypto assets. I do take all these things seriously and I do consider them. I do my own research, and then if I like them, I might even invest in them, and then I will tell my own opinion during one of my next streams. So thank you so much. Okay, so Mr. Araya says, buying some Alibaba Monday, hopefully. Okay, Mr. Araya, Alibaba, as you obviously know, is a Chinese company. China is very tempting right now because it is very low on multipliers, and one of these charts that I have, that I will show a little bit later, it does have Chinese tech stocks performance, so we'll get there in a while. But for now, China, yes, everyone knows about Chinese Alibaba, which is basically Chinese Amazon, I mean, okay? It is extremely, no, I'm not going to say monopoly, but because in China they do not allow, like in USA there are talks about anti-monopoly laws and anything like this, but in China they're already doing this. So many problems with the Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba in the past, he was hiding and all this kind of stuff. Chinese stocks are very tempting because they're trading at very low multipliers. The PE ratios are like in single digits and all this kind of stuff. Price to sale ratios are less than 1 for majority of interesting companies. Very interesting from multiplier standpoint. But you have to be careful, because investing is capitalism and China is a communistic country. So when you combine capitalism and communism, the results are very extremely unpredictable. Yes, the investment opportunity can be extremely good, but the amount of black swan is an unpredictable event in the stock market, in the finance world. For example, this virus in 2019-2020, we all know the name, it was a black swan. No one was predicting this is gonna happen. And then we saw one of the fastest stock market decline in the history of the stock market, as well as one of the fastest stock market recovery in the history of the stock market. So you never know when these black swans can appear, and because this is a communist country, they can create black swans almost on the regular basis. For this reason, yes, China is very tempting. I was so tempted to invest myself in Chinese companies about a couple of months ago. I didn't do it. And now I'm strongly revising my ideas if I should do it or not in the future. So I will need more research on this, but just I'm saying to be very extremely careful. Alibaba, yes, it's not the worst investment. It's a very good investment. potentially, I mean, but still be careful. Know that something very, very unexpected can happen any single day. Okay, so number one rule, no politics. Don't get me started. Exactly. Don't speak about religion, politics, and clauses, I think. Don't speak about those things in the family dinner. Okay, so let's get already straight to this charts, which basically where is the market right now, what possibly caused the crypto boom. Okay, first of all is if you've seen, once again, because I didn't finish my thought last time, if you've seen my last stream when I was attempting to predict the stock market crash or correction or recession, it was my very previous live stream last Friday. You can still find it. I think the name of this attempting to predict crash, something like stock market crash. You can find it. It's me on the red. I can just simply show it to you. Why would I talk about this if I can just show you how it looks like? So go ahead and watch this video. It's only approximately, I think, like 40 minutes, 50 minutes or so. But this is me giving you this is the one, crash when. Predicting stock market crash of 2021. And this is, here it is on my channel, 48 minutes. 102 views, by the way, incredible. So, and this is me attempting to predict what's gonna happen, and I'm giving all the confirmation, all the graphs, all the charts, every single fact that why this must happen and why it's not happening yet. So, and according to my predictions, the latest we might see, at least correction on the US stock market, will be approximately middle to the end of 2022. My most likely case scenario will be the beginning of 2022, specifically February 2022. And my earliest predictions when the stock market correction, recession, or bubble burst, whatever you want to call it, can happen is approximately fall, which is going to be next month, 2021. So these are my three predictions. Biggest one is February next year, and all the others are just, obviously, this is just 50-50. No one knows exactly when it's going to happen. So just go ahead, after watching this stream, go ahead and watch that stream, see if you agree with me, see if anything of this makes sense, do your very own research once again, and decide for yourself how you would like to operate with this information. But to summarize, yes, Mr. Araya, thanks, tahaha, it will only be a small percentage of my portfolio. Yes, like this is good, like this is perfect. Whenever I'm not exactly sure with the investment, I just keep it like around 1%. Very good idea, very good approach. And Pete Griswold says, Michael Burry is known to be on point. I know the guy, big short guy, betting heavily against Cathy Woods. I'm keeping close eye on him. So some things I agree with him, some I don't. We'll see how it goes. Mostly I agree with him. But for now, here it is. Reverse repurchase agreement. Basically the idea that you already know that US government just prints money non-stop. They have so much money that they don't know what they give it to the banks. They were giving it to people in stimulus checks. Now they're giving it to the banks, the companies, and banks do not know even what to do with all this money. So reverse repurchase agreement is basically when banks give back money to the government overnight at 0.05% interest rate, and then the next day they get money back. So basically, because banks cannot loan this much money, it's trillions of dollars that on the balance sheets of the banks, and they don't know what to do with this. So they just give it back. Government gives it to the banks give it back to the government for overnight. And 0.05%, and right now, overnight reverse repurchase deals, every single day, it's $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion every single day is in reverse repurchase agreements deals, basically. So 0.05% of $1 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, it is $500 million that banks get just for holding cash on the balance sheets and doing nothing with it, because they cannot do anything with this. People just don't need that much money. So obviously it is a very concerning graph that we're seeing right now here. The next one is the container freight rate index, which basically means the price of shipping by sea by these big, large shipping containers, by these big ships, basically. It is going through the roof. Some of the prices went up 4, 5, 7, 8, 10x. So if you, let's say so theoretically, I never was working in shipping, but let's say so, if your freight cost, let's say so, is $1,000, right now, the same container, the same contents, everything is the same between China and, let's say so, Florida. between Beijing and Florida, whatever. Just saying, like, I'm not the best in geography, as you can already see, but just to give you an idea, from $1,000 it went all the way to $7,000. So many companies that are unprofitable right now on the stock market. Approximately 40% of companies on the stock market right now in the US are not making money at all. These are zombie companies. They are making just enough money just to continue surviving. And when the prices for shipping are so expensive, you can only imagine that they will be losing even more money, and eventually there will be a very big chain reaction of bankruptcies. Companies will start falling apart. This will be on the news. More companies will start going bankrupt, and this will be a chain reaction for... you can imagine what's going to happen. If 40% of companies going bankrupt in the US on the US stock market, which is not going to happen, but just imagine how bad it can be in the future. Okay, just let me see one question from Pete. His move on Tesla was funny AF. Absolutely. Betting against Tesla. I am still very concerned about Tesla. Might be a good company, very overvalued, too many empty promises. Even though I like Elon Musk, but so many empty promises. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. 20% of things come true, other 80% are just going to void or something and never get to be in real life. All these lawsuits about self-driving cars, about full self-driving system, I mean, from Tesla, very cautious about. I'm being very cautious about Tesla. My not price target, let's say so, but my entry point for Tesla, if I want to invest in Tesla, it's going to be approximately $300-400. So I am keeping track of this company, but I'm not going to invest it on these levels 100%. Okay, coming back to these graphs. The next one is a little bit small, so I'm going to just make it bigger. The one is the S&P 500 real earnings yields, which basically means to see if companies are making money or not on average. And as you remember, I told you companies are zombie companies. So as you can see right now, companies are not even making, I need to make it a little bit smaller. Companies are not even making money right now, the one that are publicly traded companies. And these are one of the companies that get all the attention and all the investments from the people, the one that do not even make money. So what we're even talking about. Okay, next graph is the cash on short-term investments on companies' balance sheets. This graph is not that bad, at least. Companies, before the virus happened, they started stacking all the cash. As you can see on this line, as you can see on this very line right here, the very correct thing companies start doing is that they started just piling cash on their balance sheets. Just in case if there's problems with the production, with selling stuff, they at least have cash to continue just surviving, to continue paying salaries to essential employees, just to stay afloat without even close to the production sizes and production amounts as they used to have in the past. So this was a good thing. This small decline when things with the virus started to ease up a little bit, so people were not worrying that much about the virus anymore. And now we have Delta, so now companies started again collecting cash on their balance sheets. But this includes all the companies, which is including all this Google and Apple, which has hundreds of billions of dollars of cash on hand. So this shows that yes, companies are preparing, but these zombie companies we talked about 5 minutes ago, they do not have even money at all. They don't even have cash at all. They have like very limited little reserves. So don't treat this graph as a general rule. Yes, big companies will survive, but unprofitable companies, they might not have cash reserves, at least whatever is showing on this graph. They might have it very barely enough cash to survive just 1-2 months, and we see how it goes whenever the winter is coming. Okay, next graph is, and before I go to the next graph, Pete says, I will buy CNR before Tesla. CNR, unfortunately, I'm not sure which company is this, which means that what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put it in my right here. CNR, Canadian, okay, Canadian National Rail. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. I've seen this company. The financials are pretty decent, pretty stable company. I will research it later because this is going to be a topic for another live stream, but I will take a closer look at this company as well. So thank you once again for suggesting. Okay, the next graph shows the financial asset allocation among households, which basically means where regular people like you and me, households, where they invest their money. And it shows 3 main financial asset classes. Equities, which are basically, in the very basic understanding, stocks, shares of the companies. Debt, which basically bonds, and cash. No, cash is cash. You already obviously know what is cash. And as you can see, since 2019-2020 virus started, people started investing in the stock market like crazy. They started investing everything. And if you remember my last stream, besides investing their own money, lots of people started investing on leverage, which basically means they started investing money they don't have, they cannot afford to lose. So, and now, already now, 50% of household net worth is in the stocks, is in the stocks. So, which basically means if things start to fall apart, and it might very well happen in the very nearest future, households, us regular people, will be losing very lots of money. Okay, next is the one of the signs, one of the things that might be starting to showing one of the nearest signs of future correction. So this is the commodity index, which is in very basic understanding. This is all the commodities: gold, silver, steel, gas, oil, all these commodities combined, and this is tracking their performance. So if you're if you believe in technical analysis, this line shows basically the, how it's called, not support, this shows the upward trend. And as according to technical analysis, which I don't yet 100% believe in, according to technical analysis, as soon as the upward trend is broken, this is the sign where basically everything can just start falling apart once again. And if we zoom here a little bit, it goes according to technical analysis perfectly. It touches here, goes up here again. It touches here, goes up again here. It touches the upward trend line again, goes up here. And now it touches the line right here where we are right now, and it starts going down. So according to technical analysis, this is the sign that probably commodities as a whole, not any specific commodity, but as a whole, all the commodities combined, they might start losing lots of their value very soon and very fast. And if you already know, lumber, for example, lumber, steel, especially lumber, let me even show you lumber prices. As you can see, lumber prices, I hope it's gonna show it here, 6 months. Look at the lumber prices. Lumber prices topped around May 7. Not around, but May 7. On May 7, it was 1,670. And now it is 400, which basically means what? It lost almost 4 times. It lost almost 70, I would say, yes, I think it's 75% from its high peaks. So, and this is just one commodity, lumber. So, and now this Bloomberg index, commodity index from Bloomberg, it's showing that all the other commodities are starting to basically going down. So this might be one of the earliest signs that maybe things will start becoming cheaper soon, commodities prices will go down, and based on this we will only see how the market will react. Because all the companies that produce goods using commodities, they will not be able to charge any more for their finished goods, which basically means their revenues, net income, operating income will also go down as well. Okay, next one is the rent. Okay, Pete Griswold, no pressure from me, absolutely, because I value every single person's opinion and I would like to have as many other opinions as possible, because I would like to read about as many stocks as possible. So anyways, I know pressure, no pressure, but thank you for your suggestions all the time. Okay, and yes, and I'm in here and there for my retirement in like 40 years. So yeah, Canadian National Railway, then most likely railway, it will not just disappear. So this might be a good, safe, relatively safe investment for the long term. Okay, real quick about the rents. This is the National Media Rent Actual, which is the full line, whatever, it's a field line. And the one which is dotted, it is what's supposed to be according to the trend if pandemic did not happen. So according, if pandemic did not happen, the trend was supposed to continue just up and down, up and down, up and down. But because pandemic happened, the rent prices declined because people simply stopped getting salaries. So many people stopped getting salaries, so rent prices declined. But now economy is recovering, inflation is 5.4%, people start getting stimulus checks, starting getting back to work, rent prices going up significantly and very sharp. Also one of the reasons why households should not invest so much money in equities, because if something bad happens on the stock market, they're gonna lose 40-50% of all their investments, and rents will be higher than they may be even anticipated. So it's gonna be a chaos if something bad is gonna happen, for sure. Okay, next one is tips. the graph that shows TIPS. TIPS are inflation protected treasury bonds, I think, something like this. So basically it is government bonds that protect you, theoretically protect you from the inflation. And this, we can see the inflow in TIPS, which basically means, because right now it's 5.4% inflation and people expect it maybe even to go more, at least to be sustained at this very high level. And so many people try to save their money and they just go into TIPS. So this is one of the major confirmations that yes, inflation is real and it exists. And here we go, we can see it right here. Numbers, graphs, math do not lie, economics do not lie. Okay, and now what I was speaking about China. So if you're still watching Mr. Araya, this is why I'm being extremely cautious about investing in Chinese companies. Yes, this is just the tech stocks. And as you can see, it is down 46.77% from its maximums. The companies are good, they're making money. So multipliers are low, but because of such unpredictability of the government, of communism, which can just prohibit, restrict things out of literally nowhere, just because they want to make everyone equal or anything. So long story short, it is impossible to predict what's gonna happen with these companies, no matter how good they are. They can be broken down, they can become illegal, they can be forced to delist from the New York Stock Exchange or from American exchanges. You don't know, so be careful. And now speaking about cryptocurrencies and why it might be the week why it all happened. So as you can see, so many bad things happening from the stock market. So many things coming from the stock market. And now, in addition to this, the hash rate of Bitcoin started to go up. As you can see, I hope I will need to zoom up a little bit because my face is blocking everything. So I will just do it like this. Hopefully you can see it right now. So the hash rate, while it's loading, hash rate is basically the security of the blockchain network. So the higher is the hash rate, yes, you can see it. The higher is the hash rate, the more secure is the blockchain network, which basically means that more people are involved in Bitcoin mining, that there are more nodes, there's just simply more security. And historically, just historically, because past performance does not guarantee future results. But historically, hash rate was more or less correlated with the price of Bitcoin. So whenever hash rate was going up, price of Bitcoin was going up as well. Hash rate goes down, price of Bitcoin goes down as well. And as you can see, the price of Bitcoin started to go down from approximately 6 months ago or so, whenever the Bitcoin was around $60,000. And here was the hash rate was the highest. And since then, the hash rate started to go down and Bitcoin price started to go down. And now here we see that hash rate is starting to resume. So in combination with all this bad news, hash rate also started increasing. And this is what I think was the major catalyst, in addition to Cardano obviously implementing smart contracts next month, what made the whole crypto sector to be starting to going up so fast. 60% Bitcoin, 80% Ethereum, 120% Cardano, 234% Solana, because hash rate went up. This is, once again, this is just the confirmation of the past. This thing already happened. We don't know where the hash rate is going in the future, but for now, hash rate is still correlated with the price of Bitcoin. So keep track of hash rate if you want to kind of predict yourself where the price of Bitcoin will go in the future. Okay, the next one is NFTs. Very quick, it's almost, I think, one of my last slides, so we're going to be over in a couple of minutes. But NFTs, but let's see. Mr. Rice says rent prices are crazy in Vancouver. Tell me how much rent prices are in Vancouver, because yes, I do collect market data, and whenever real people can tell me real facts from the real world, I believe these people way more than whatever I read on the internet or whenever I see people talking on YouTube videos. So Mr. Arai, if you can tell me, if you don't mind, what are the rents approximately, you can give me the range. You don't need to give me your exact rent. So if you can give me the range for like 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, I can collect this as a market data for me in the future. Because here in Toronto area, obviously rents are high as well. And Pete Griswold, gotta love those dividends though. Yes, who doesn't love dividends? Dividends are the best. Free money. Invest in good companies, stable companies that grow more or less in accordance with the stock market in general. And besides this, you get like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% dividend yield. What is there nothing to love about it? It's just so good. Love dividends investing myself. but for now I'm just doing non-dividend investing in my non-tax advantageous portfolio. But starting 2022, I am back to dividends completely until I maximize both of my TFSAs. Okay. Pete Griswold once again says, I always base my crypto prices on Bitcoin. Ethereum is a bit different law. Yes, Bitcoin has always been so far the biggest mover of the whole stock crypto market. Wherever Bitcoin goes, all the other major cryptos follow it. Not precisely, not like 10% Bitcoin, then 10% Ethereum, then 10% Cardano, not precisely, but as a general direction, yes. Bitcoin shows the direction for the whole crypto market. Once again, this is not proven, this is not supposed maybe to be like this all the time, but as a general rule, yes, it works like this. And finally, one of the reasons why I think crypto market is so good right now, and now my face is blocking everything, so I guess I'll need to do it like this so you can see it properly. But NFTs are basically, I hope you heard about those things. NFTs are those things like digital assets, like digital art, let's say. So you buy like CryptoPunks, all these JPEG images for like $20,000, and now you can own this stuff for like animation, videos, music, whatever. It's like digital art that only you own in the world. It's topic for, once again, another video, but for now, NFTs are based on Ethereum network, which basically means if NFTs are going up, it means that if NFTs marketplace goes up, it means that Ethereum is being used more and more and more and more. So we already see 3 different things that potentially caused crypto market explode this week and past month. First was the hash rate of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin leads the way for everything. Bitcoin hash rate went up, Bitcoin started going up, every other cryptocurrency started going up. Second was Cardano. Cardano developer announced last week that in September they're gonna have smart contracts. This made Cardano increase all the way to even like up to 30% in one day, I think, like all the way from $1.60 to like $2 in one day, I think it was. So it was obviously insane growth from one day, and it was still sustainable because now Cardano like 250, I think, yes. And the third thing is the NFTs are back. NFTs are back. More and more people start buying these things. OpenSea right now is the main marketplace of NFTs. And NFTs are based on Ethereum. So we have 3 major cryptocurrencies, crypto projects: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. And all of these 3 crypto projects, they had catalysts this past week of 2 or last month, within 1 month, let's say, so to make it safe. In addition to so much fear and uncertainty on the stock market. So we have people who are afraid of stocks, and now we have cryptos that only give us good news. We combine these things and we get what? We get people who sell their stocks and they start buying cryptocurrencies. Or maybe people don't sell stocks, but they do buy cryptocurrencies. Or people don't buy cryptocurrencies, but they sell stocks. As a general rule, general public behavior, those maybe not sophisticated investors who maybe don't know too much clear what they're doing or anything, but just following the crowd, because one of the biggest market movers besides institutional investors are just the crowd. So it's the word of mouth, it's YouTube videos, it's all this kind of stuff. Whenever people see that Bitcoin is going up, everyone starts like, I want to be in Bitcoin, I also want to have 100% growth in 1 week, they start buying more Bitcoin. We combine all these events and this is what we get. Crypto is up, stock market is relatively 0% more or less down, some companies that are overvalued even more down than all the other, and here you go, basically. Okay, and most 1-bedroom apartments, Mr. Araya says, 1,900 to 2,200 at a minimum. Yes, exactly the same stuff in Toronto area. 1-bedroom apartments here start the very minimum, the one which are very cheap apartments and like not maybe in the very good condition can be 1,700, let's say so. And all the way just basically the same as in Vancouver, to 2,200, 2,300. So looks like the real estate, rent prices in Vancouver and Toronto are more or less the same. Okay, and Pete says I pay $560 all included. That's a very good price. This is extremely good. You have yourself a very good deal, Pete. Congratulations on this. So I think this stream was very informative. At least I hope it was. Let's see if I have more. No, it's the screenshot for another time already. But so far, yes. If you have any questions, right now is the time, because I'm going to be making my closing statements. And don't worry. Yes, let me put myself on the screen and stuff. And don't worry, you can still ask questions in the chat, because even when I finish the stream, I can still see your questions. So I might just turn off the stream, but I will still be able to answer your questions in the chat. So don't worry, feel free to leave questions if you have. This was my vision about the stock market and crypto market. This is what I think, where we're going, where we can be in the future, in the past, all these kind of things. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Once again, everything I said was just my very own vision, my very own way of understanding things that are happening right now. If you can see my previous live stream, with the one that I showed you, I can just show you again once again, this one, predicting stock market crash to 2021. These two streams combined, this one that I'm doing right now and that one, these two live streams will be perfect combination for you to see how my mind is working. In the past stream, I was focusing more in details of what's going on. Lots of graphs. I think I had maybe around 20 graphs in this stream. So there's way more information that I presented in comparison to this stream. So far, I think this was a pretty good stream. Happy Friday, everyone. Go enjoy, go chill, go spend time with your loved ones, go see friends, go rest, go see some Netflix and chill. Don't forget to invest. Don't forget to educate yourself. Read stuff online. Educate yourself, watch YouTube videos, subscribe to me if you want, and hopefully, not hopefully, but we will definitely see each other next Friday again. So, thank you so much.